other people to work out.
But you have it, and that's the important part.
Yeah, what if I come across...
What was the magic weapon again?
It's a +1 mace.
Yes, something to smash with. Hi, everyone!
Hi, everyone. We're all enjoying some brief humour as we start the stream. Everybody, once they can breathe, we'll be back with us shortly. So it's a good time to remember exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it. We're playing Pathfinder First Edition. We're playing a cool adventure where we're rebels fighting against a very sort of overbearing fascist authority that's suddenly been imposed on a freedom-loving city, something that nobody in the current world can relate with. And we're also doing it for a really good cause. And if somebody who can breathe can continue the explanation, that would be lovely.
Thank you, Andrew. It's the Albert Kennedy Trust, AKT, which we're raising money for. I was fine until I saw Aurora's face. Bear with me. I'm going to look over here. Albert Kennedy Trust is a charity dedicated to housing and safe shelter for LGBT youth who have no homes, unsafe homes, just very vulnerable and need safe shelter. That's who we're raising money for. It's a great cause. But yes, thank you, Andrew, for that. While we all had a bit of a moment, something mildly amusing, then just had the perfect timing to escalate it, I think. But yes, jumping back into Kintargo and our lovely rebellion group, the Silver Ravens, who are trying to thwart the plans of Barzillai Thrune, the new mayor, who has enacted martial law and is just creating a bad time for all involved. Not quite at the level of some things going on, but in the real world, but is more fantastically horrific in other ways. But getting back down into the fantasy. So the Silver Ravens have slowly been surely gaining influence, gaining reputation, both good, mostly good, but also bad in certain circles, with by doing good deeds, by helping people, stopping crime, freeing falsely imprisoned people, and the like. And that reputation and that kind of rumours that have been going about have managed to get them into the sights of one Captain Sargata, who is the captain of a Chalice ship known as the Scourge of Belial, who invited them all to their ship, and everyone pretty much went. It was very, very nice to the man, and there was definitely no argument between Blue Bloods and Whist about how important etiquette is.
There was an excellent monkey, though.
There was an excellent monkey. There was an excellent monkey who is called, was it Commodore?
Commodore, that was it.
Is it Commodore Peanut?
Yeah, that was right. Commodore Peanut.
Yes, he has a monkey called Commodore Peanut. And Captain Sargata has given them a task, which is to deliver a message to a friend of his, a noble friend by the name of Markel Olorian. Everyone then immediately decided that these two must be in love. This is a secret love letter, and therefore Sebastian has taken the lead on how he wants this mission to go.
With some prompting from a very good sense motive check.
You did do some sense motive checks, and there was some. That was some.
I saw the light of true passion in his eye. If it's not his lover, it's his best friend or his half brother.
For art, yes. But yes, no, you have definitely caught something has caught your eye about the captain's potential motives. And you guys have planned how to get into the Olorian estate. As I understand it, the current plan is that Blue Blood, in his full noble regalia, is going to go in through the front door and basically distract the Lord of the House, so Lord Olorian, Markel's father, uncle, senior in that respect, will distract him and anybody else in the house, while Sebastian and those who are on the stealthy equation are going to try to sneak in through other means and get to where you believe Markel's bedroom is, while trying to avoid the Cerberus that is apparently their new guard dog. And that's all you all caught up. So, yeah. You guys have had a little bit of time in order to do some prep. Like, this will basically be the next day is when you guys will be doing this proper, and I believe you're doing it during the daytime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Blue Blood got me a servant's uniform in the colours of his house.
Yes.
And probably if anybody else wanted to come in and pretend to be a servant and sneak around, if that's in anybody's idiom, then similar disguises can possibly have been procured for you.
Blue Blood has also, during this process, had a meeting with his uncle, Lord Tennyson, and a conversation was had which was somewhere between a deal and an ultimatum has been struck.
Wow, Albrecht gave his uncle an ultimatum. That's incredible. Very bold.
So bold. But yeah. So you guys have had the day in order to prepare. So you've obviously already got one servant's uniform. Is there anybody else who is planning on being part of Team Stealth? Or is everyone else being part of Team Backup? Team Stealth being, at this point, Albrecht and Sebastian.
I think they've got this. I don't see any need to get involved.
100%.
Okay.
Let's
Cool.
see how badly I can mess this up in the first 30 seconds.
So
Okay.
Too many
Also,
cooks.
just
Walk
as a
up to the front
reminder,
gate, throw a smoke bomb, run away.
as a reminder, you've got I forget the name of it, Trail of the Rose, Scent of the Rose spell, so we can all see the trail you take through the house. If you cross over multiple times, it will get confusing, and we don't know how long ago it was. But at least we'll possibly know the vicinity of where you are and how you got there.
Yeah.
If it goes tits up, which it won't. So
You have a way to be able to track Sebastian if needed. It's only on Sebastian, right?
Spell slot. It's a waste of a spell slot.
It's a wonderful, characterful, cool spell that you should definitely be using because it's amazing.
It is very cool. All
Very
right.
powerful wizard spell indeed.
Such a wizard.
Oh yeah, that was the other point as well. I believe you cast that spell, and I believe that was the spell that Asmos worked out isn't a wizard spell.
I have no idea how Asmoth would be able to tell it. It's not like it's like basically a neon sign of what god I follow and it not being a wizard spell. It's incredibly mysterious.
It's fine. It's fine. Rolls happened. Thoughts have been had. Getting into this mission as it stands. I'm going to keep you on the Kintargo map because the map for the estate assumes a more overt stealth. I say overt, a more direct stealth option than the one you've gone for. So I don't have most of the house. But that's fine. Shouldn't need it probably. So is there any other prep you guys want to do?
No, get some cake for the stakeout.
Okay, cool. So team stakeout is Evie, Asmoth, Whist, and Gideon? Question mark?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, when you guys are ready then, you guys can go up to the Olorian estate. Pardon me. How are you guys planning on approaching this? Those of you, I believe the plan is that those who are on Team Stakeout are gonna, because you guys know that there is a side entrance. There's like a big iron wrought gate. So I believe Team Stakeout's going to be near there.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Those who are going in then through the front door, how are you approaching this?
I think, and Albert can correct Sebastian's misapprehension if it goes right, is that Albert's going to walk up looking noble and important and talk to them directly. I'm going to scuttle sort of like cringingly, almost like Mr. Collins from Pride and Prejudice in his wake, being the perfect lick-spittle servant. And then as we gain access, I'm going to find a reason and the requirement of a cup of water,
Okay.
some other reason to break off and go and deliver a letter.
All right. In that case, you guys approach the front gates themselves. You are able to step through the main entrance, head up to the door, and when you knock, it will be a butler who greets you, or a butler type character who greets you. And is like, "May I help you?"
Seneschal, announce me.
Yes, my lord. This is the most honourable Albrecht Hanneson, and he is here to meet the master of the house on matters of great security import, and I believe that he is expected.
Right.
Are you telling me that that my lord is not expected?
I will need to check with the master of the house. He opens the door and allows you both to come in, and will direct for a maid to come in to who's like passing nearby, direct for a maid to get you some refreshments. It's like, if you'll both excuse me, I will need to check with the master of the house, and then heads off further into the house.
I will quickly brush down the seat that Albrecht is about to sit in, and shoot sort of a slightly sort of querulous look at the maid. My lord likes his tea with milk and one sugar.
Right away, yes, says the maid, and she scurries off to go make tea. For the moment, you two are alone in the foyer.
Don't overdo it, Sebastian. You'll give me airs.
Here's the idea that my lord should one day produce heirs. Yes.
I see it's going to be one of those days.
Yes, my lord. Can can I perhaps take your cloak? I'm sure there's somewhere around here to hang it up.
Yes, there'll be a cloakroom somewhere near the foyer.
Yes, I should probably go and look for that.
Don't get lost. Wink.
All right. I'm not making Sebastian roll for the sass damage. That will be too much. It will be too deadly. So Sebastian, you go off to go look for a cloakroom, assumedly. At the moment, the foyer is empty.
That is a total lie, Ash. I'm going off, and if I discover a cloakroom, unless I'm going to hide in it, that's not where I'm going for. I am going to I'm an unimportant person in servant's livery. I'm going to kind of keep my sort of scuttling gait and keep going. I look like the sort of person that should be here, and I'm going to try and find a way of
Okay.
delivering this letter. That probably involves me going through a house I don't know the layout of terribly well. We did get some brief instructions from the chap, according to my notes, and try and find my way to his room. Possibly taking advantage of a stealth check along the way.
Okay, so you know that Markel's bedroom is on the second floor because it's a second-story bedroom, and you know that it's near the western gate, which is the gate that your friends are near. So what I will say is a stealth check to basically see how well you can navigate this place without being detected, which is going to be partly actual quiet and partly blending in like a servant should. And trying to think what kind of check you want to be able to orient yourself compass wise. Because I'm guessing you don't have knowledge geography, do you?
I can't do knowledge geography. I'm sorry.
That's fine. It might just be a straight up intelligence. Actually, let's make it a perception check to see if you can work out either by orienting yourself or through potential clues in the house where Markel's room might be. So stealth and perception. Amazing. Okay, fantastic. So you quickly head upstairs. And based on where you think the door had been, like the front door was, you then go in down a corridor that you believe is in the westernmost part of the house, and just keep trying to keep west. Blueblood's cloak, because you did not look for a cloakroom. Blueblood's cloak is bundled up in your arms, your head's down. You've got like the look, you've got the aura set, you're in the zone, character wise, and that does mean that anybody who spots you doesn't bat an eye to your presence. As far as they're concerned, you are a fellow serf. And you're able to kind of navigate through, walking through this, that, and the other. And you will be able to spot, I'm just double checking the details. Just double checking the state of his room. 1 second. Okay.
It's going to be. I got past the servants, but the messiness of his room is going to really block me. He's left out a lot of small cars and Lego.
I'm more double checking.
No, that's fine, Ash. I'm being
else. I know you are. It's fine. Okay. All right. Yeah, you spot a kind of going down the corridors. You then spot a room that's of interest. Because you've come to the part of the house. Like, if you peek through a couple of doors, you see that you're in a part of the house that's quite a few bedrooms. And as you're going down into this back corner, you spot one that's got a small table next to it that quite clearly has used, like, a tray of like used drinks and stuff. And when you go to it, they're very simple, like kind of like water glasses and stuff on the table, like it's been half drunk from, with an empty carafe next to it. But also seems to have been used fairly recently-ish.
I mean, I'm pretty elated that things are going this well, so I'm going to move quietly to the door and knock on it.
Okay. You knock on the door, and you hear a very tired sounding voice of a young man go, "Oh, good Lord, what is it now?"
Pitch my voice quite low so it doesn't carry too far, and I say, letter from a sea captain?
There's silence. And then the door, you hear something thump against the door, and then you see the handle rattle. And then cursing on the other side. And then the voice comes back a lot more venomous. It's like, if this is some sort of trip.
It is, but it's not being played on you. Bear with me, just one moment.
Who are you?
My name's Sebastian. Let me see. I'm going to check how well fitted this door is. Is it possible for me to just slide the letter under the door?
You could definitely slide the letter under the door. Like, it was a little envelope.
But it's got a seal, which is the only reason I asked. I will slide the...
It will catch slightly, but like there'll be a little bit of a scuff near the seal, but you can still slide it under.
Oh, well, look, I can slide the letter under the door, and I'm supposed to take a reply. I will slide the letter under the door.
Okay, it goes halfway through, and then it's ripped out of your hand, and you hear the rustling of like paper as this Markel, assumedly, opens it, fumbles with the letter, and there's just silence. It's quiet, and then you hear a quiet laugh of part shock, part delight. And he's like, "Oh, that crazy." Right, okay. Give me a moment. And then you hear a lot of fumbling about, and then you suddenly hear, "How are you opening the door?"
Well, I was about to ask him if he had any way of opening the door. If he responds in the negative,
Go on, ask.
If you don't, look, do you have any way of opening the door? If you don't, I can open the door, but it will be loud. The only method I have is brute force.
How strong are you?
Is this Ash asking, or is it him asking?
Him asking.
I can be as strong as a half orc if I need to be, briefly.
All right. The note says messengers. Do you have companions nearby?
Yes. Your family has got some kind of new crazy demon guard dog. They're
God,
waiting
thanks.
out. they're waiting outside in case I run afoul of it. Other than my good friend Alberic, who is currently providing the distraction that got me in here.
Why do
we
I know
were
that
hope-
name?
Because he's, one of Kintargo's most handsome and eligible bachelors.
Blatant lie, but no, why do I know that name?
I don't know. I don't know if we move in the same social circles, but I would like to say that he is handsome and eligible. How dare you?
All right, okay. Give me a moment. Let me grab my bag. You hear some shuffling around, fabric moving and the like. He goes, right, okay. I am far away from the door. Do your worst.
Okay. I would like to use Alter Self to become a half orc for 4 minutes,
All
which
right,
adds
you
2 to my strength.
use alter self.
And fortunately, I don't burst out of my gear like the Incredible Hulk. It just adjusts around me because magic. And then I'm gonna try and
Magic.
kick a door down, which is going to be, I would say, the opposite of quiet.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. You slam
That should be
against the
one
door.
higher. It's not added my modifier. That's a 15, but it's still
Okay.
not good enough.
Hold on. I now. Which part of the door do you hit?
Near the lock with my foot. I think I'm in a bad TV cop show.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to think. What's the? Okay. I feel like. Okay. The door rattles in its frame. A couple of bits splinter, but it doesn't break fully. However, that was a loud thud.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, at the next opportunity, I will try again, but I appreciate
Okay.
that things may be occurring.
At the moment, you hear you have thudded. It's been a loud thud. For the next immediate moment, there's nothing else yet. Like there's no loud voices or anything like that that have interrupted you.
Well, I'll try again and hope I'm a bit better. A little better.
A little better. Is that 17?
No, that's an actual 16. I managed to get it to record the numbers.
Oh, it's an
as
actual
well.
16. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. It splinters some more. You think one more blow like that might do it? You
Well,
can now hear very distantly the sounds of concerned voices.
of course I can. Of course I can. Well, save the best for last. Nat 20.
You did save the best for last. So the first kick is like aimed at a point where like a bit of like a few splinters like break away, but not much. The second one, the thing does splinter well against your foot. You look back, hearing the voices, and then like because it's already partly splintered, shoulder barge it, and the door straight up collapses out from under you and just slams onto the floor, and you just rush into the room. Very quickly pop you on the map, so that you guys can see Markel Alorian, who looks, I think, as he was described.
Holy shit, he's as big as a house.
There we go. He has kind of covered his face with what you can quickly tell is his good arm, as his right arm is in a sling, and the hand itself is withered and frail, and just kind of hangs in the sling. But his other hand has come up, and he kind of peeks out and looks around at you.
Still big and half orky, I will say. People are coming, but we have a moment. If you drink this potion, you'll become invisible for the next 3 minutes. If you can guide me, through the house, we can get out of here without anyone getting hurt.
All right, well, let's try this. And he'll take the potion off of you and immediately go to drink it, as the two of you, I assume, leave the room. We will
put my hand on his holder so he can lead me, and I will also become invisible.
Okay, fantastic. So both of you are now invisible, and you're basically going to be running through the house, I imagine.
House invisible, trying to get out. Yeah.
Amazing, love that. So we'll just quickly cut away to Albric, because you are here being the ruse. And you're just kind of sat here in this chair. Like, Sebastian has gone, and it's not probably 10-15 seconds after Sebastian has gone that the maid comes back with a teapot with all of the accoutrements laid out for you. She puts the tray and starts to pour out the tea for you, and she turns to you and kind of asks how you take your tea, and starts making the drink for you in front of you. And by the time she's handed you the cup, the butler type character has returned. It's like, if you would like to follow me, sir.
I suppose we'll take this with us then. Kind of smile at the maid.
Maid picks up the tray. He's ready to follow you. The butler leads you through the first floor, the bottom floor, down a corridor or two into an office. And you see I did have some details about Master Alorian. Why were they again? I can't remember. Are they here? It might have been in the other book. Aha, there we go. So it's Uxus Alorian that you're meeting, who is human, male, definitely middle-aged at this point. And he looks up at you with kind of an air. He's like, one of the Tennessan Scions, I believe.
For a shallow bow and say, my noble uncle regrets that matters of state keep him occupied, but please do not take it as insult that he sent me in their stead.
Very well. And he kind of gestures to the other seat in the room. The maid puts your tray of tea down on the desk as you sit. So, my staff said that you are here to discuss matters of security.
Indeed so. We find you find yourself, as you've probably already seen, in a tumultuous time. Now, the noble houses that have publicly assigned their allegiance to the Lord Mayor, as you can imagine, have commensurate levels of protection afforded to them,
Hmm.
many of which is provided by my house. I would not mean to presume, but looking over your holdings from what I've seen so far, that protection has not yet been extended to you. And the last thing any of us would want is a repeat of the, shall we say, follies of House Victor Cora. I would hate for something to befall your house right as you are entering into this world.
Your information on these matters seems to be out of date, shall we say?
Then please enlighten me.
Have you seen the um the new addition to my Western Garden?
Yes, I have.
And you know what resides in it?
I can hazard a guess, my lord.
So then I have to wonder why you think I would need to come begging to your uncle for safety when the Lord Mayor himself has gifted me one of his own.
With due respect, my lords, and to offer proper respect to the creatures of Asmodeus, there are certain matters of delicacy that a well-trained guard can provide that even the highest of devils would never be able to perform, simply due to their nature as creatures of destruction, as they so often want to be.
Well, he hasn't destroyed anything yet, and he is not the only thing guarding this place. I do have human guards as well, as he put it.
I am sure adequately well equipped with whatever it is you have available to you.
Whatever I have available.
Here, let me show you an
What
example
I
of Tennessee's
have
steel.
available.
I reach down and draw the mithril short sword.
Can I expect mithril for all of my gods then? Is that just so
Well,
commonplace for you, majestic Tennessans?
it is an example of the resources that we have available to us.
We're not the only one who can get access to rare and magical metal. You are not the only noble house in the Greens.
Perhaps not, but what I am offering you access to is not the mithril mines, not the armorers, but the relationships that Lord Tennyson, as countless Tennessons before him, have cultivated over the decades.
Make a
The
diplomacy check for
materials.
me,
Okie doke.
just to see how well this goes for you. Okay. Okay. Carry on.
The raw materials, the the foundries and such, that's one thing. What we're offering you is House Denison extending its hand to its friend. And trust me when I say we are very generous to our friends.
I can't tell if this is a genuine pledge of friendship from your uncle, or if this is you getting ahead on the curve of what you think is a threat. Because another house has found the favor of House Thrune. We
As
know
my
how
uncle would say.
loyal you have been historically.
As my dear uncle would say, the surest way to remove an enemy is to make them a friend.
All right. Well, I will say at the very least, you are bold. Perhaps that can be humoured. And as he says that, you guys hear a thump from somewhere above you. And kind of Oxus kind
Ulrich
of
will do
blinks.
his absolute
looks up.
level best not to react.
So you see Oxus look up, and then you see him glance at the butler, and the butler darts out of the room. All right. What might this friendship of House Tenessens look like?
Well, certainly in the beginning stages, it would form in the stages of invitations to events and such things that
Dump.
again, trying very hard not to react.
Oxus is reacting. Oxus looks up again and kind of is looking back up at the ceiling, kind of trying to work out where the thumping is coming from. And you hear more footsteps and movements outside.
At the beginning stages, invitations to events that that our house runs or are invited to, things of that nature, an opportunity for you to meet more of the higher echelons of society, more than as obviously important.
Crash!
Oh,
As
dear.
a much louder thud, followed up by something very heavy, seeming to fall against something else, sounds to the point that the ceiling trembles above you. Immediately, Auxis is on his feet and he steps around the desk and for the moment seems to have ignored you. You can roll a sense motive for me if you want.
Okay.
Okay. You can see that he has come to some sort of he's come to some sort of assumption, and that assumption has him panicked to the point that he has just completely forgotten your existence for the moment as he stands up and immediately races out of the door.
Can I make an attempt to try and basically try and grab his arm as he heads out?
Dexterity check or reflex save for me.
Probably just a flat dex check, just to see if I can grab him.
Okay.
Not bad.
He is an NPC, noble. So I'll say with a 15 you can grab him, and he whirls around and is like, unhand me, and he like wrenches his arm out of your hand.
I would.
We will finish this later.
Lord.
And he ignores you and goes to leave.
This is why he needs security. I'll mutter as I draw my sword and start walking out.
So he rushes and he seems to head for the nearest set of stairs and heads up as you see there are a couple of guards, there are a couple of people in armor with swords and shields at the ready, already on the stairs, heading towards what you think is the western side of the house. And Auxis immediately falls in behind them, is starting to shout, "What is going on? What is going on? What is all of this noise? What is happening up here?" Are you following him?
Yes.
Cool, fantastic. Sebastian, make a stealth check for me with your bonus from stealth. From invisibility, sorry.
Yeah. Can anybody remind me what that is off the top of their heads?
Plus 20 if you're moving, plus 40 if you're stationary.
Well, definitely moving. So let's just put in that.
So
That's
that's a
not
30.
included what I tried to do. That is 37, yeah.
Cool, fantastic. Okay. Albric, make a perception check for me.
Perception.
It's a whole mess of chaos up here as you are following behind Lord Olorian towards the western side of the house. You are able to dodge around servants toing and froing, these guards coming in closer as you come towards the kind of back corner and see there is a door that has just been completely taken off of its hinges and it's just lying, has fallen into whatever room lay beyond it. At the sight of the door, Lord Olorian freezes, completely stops, absolutely statue still for a full 5 seconds.
So Albrecht will kind of head into drill sergeant mode, look towards the guards and say, find the burglar's point of entry. One of the windows will be broken or latched open. Move.
They kind of flinch and they're like kind of confused that you're giving the order at first, but then when seeing that Lord Lorien isn't responding either way, kind of go to do it. And we'll say yeah, when he does rouse after a few seconds, he immediately starts saying, call for Gorfangs, and then just starts shouting, get Gorfangs, get Gorfangs now, get him to find them. And one of the guards breaks off to assumedly go do that while the others continue to break the point of entry and stuff. As the invisible Sebastian
Best gold
and
pieces I
Markel,
ever spent.
the invisible Sebastian and Markel slip through. You were able to get and far down the corridor enough that you don't see this happening. You are trying to be quiet, obviously, now that people are around, but also like walking at a quick pace. So you hear the shouting for Gorfangs down the corridor behind you as you guys get to the stairs, and you feel Markel leading you towards the staircase.
Just follow Markel.
Cool. Yeah. So many people. So at the moment, everybody seems to be rushing around upstairs. A guard by the time you guys reach the foyer, there is a guard coming out of the corridor onto the landing that you can see, basically heading for the stairs. And yeah, what do you do?
I mean, I think that I'm just trying to. So, this isn't my house. This is Markel. Is that right? Markel's house. So I will. I know where my friends are. So, as long as we're heading towards some sort of exit, maybe even the front door, we are, after all, invisible. I'm quite happy to let him lead the way. If we start to seem to be going on some sort of diversion or through the back garden where I know there's a giant demon dog, I will attempt to whisper him that we should go out a different door.
Okay. He does say you hear him when you get to the foyer. You hear him whisper, what was your plan at this point?
We go outside, we meet up with my friends, we leave.
The hellhound is outside.
Outside the front door?
No, but they're fast. Probably faster than me.
Okay, well, if we're attacked by the hellhound, then that's what my friends are there for. They are like, I'm not wearing my armor, I'm not carrying my weapons. I had to pretend to be a servant. So at the moment I've got some harsh language, but they are very capable fighters, and if Albrecht has rejoined them, he's in his full regalia and very impressive. So if we can go out the front, we have backup.
All right. Fine,
Also,
fine.
one of my friends is an extremely powerful wizard.
Good for them. While this has been going on, the guard has reached the foyer and is going at a pace matching yours, and has raced for the front door. Throws the front door open and continues to race outside. And you hear Markel hiss, "He'll have gone to get the dog. He'll have gone to get the hound."
Let's go. I'll describe where we set the people who are waiting to lurk, and I'll start taking him that way. I know the way from the front door to there.
Fantastic. You guys race through the still ajar door, knocking it enough so that you guys can slip out. And it's a fairly long-ish trek. I'll say roll another stealth check for me just to see basically to track how much time you've managed to get, to see if it breaks before you leave the house or not.
That's legit. Let me roll stealth. I can just add 20 manually. So that's 27 before invisibility.
So that's a 47.
That's a 47. So I do it quite quickly.
So yeah, you have managed to, at some point, you're still a half orc, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
The half orc lasts for a minute longer than the invisibility does.
It does. Fantastic. The half orc's also strong. So you get outside, and you know that you've probably got another 20-30 seconds. You know that if you run, you'll be able to get outside in that time. But also, Markel is slower than you. So with that 27, I will say that you are able to pick Markel up, which he is offended by, and sprint for the gate.
100% doing this.
He is very quietly admonishing you the entire time, and that this is unseemly. Put me down this instant. Kind of
I'll
energy.
put you down when we're on the other side of the gate. I'm sorry, I know this is undignified. Wasn't my first choice either.
I am
But,
so
you know,
glad no one could see me right now.
just blame it on the stupid half-orc when you have to.
Oh, I will. I will absolutely be doing that. As you guys sprint for the exit, you manage to get out of the gate, probably around the corner, and put him down just as your invisibility breaks. You are still a half orc for the next minute.
Quickly, it's this way that you'll recognise them. There's this cool warrior priest, this slightly intimidating doctor, a gnomish wizard, and
Kind of dusting himself down, adjusts his bad hand and his bag, and he turns to you and he says, "You tell no one of what just happened."
I'll know what happened. Everyone was invisible. Nobody saw anything.
Correct. And he just spins on the spot and marches. Meanwhile, you are still close enough to the area because obviously you're skirting around the estate, so you can hear the guard running, and you will also be able to hear the echoing growl of 3 dog heads when the guard finds the creature that is assumedly Gorfang.
I mean, if they're like, I'm not going to pick him up again. That's clearly not going to work, and I'm only going to be a half orc for another like 12 seconds. But I would like to try and encourage him verbally to quickly join the people with actual arms and armor who are waiting.
Okay, so with Team Escape Route, the 4 of you are standing near the western gate. It is locked. It is barred. High walls. For the most part, it's pretty quiet. Like, there's just the bustling of the city around you. Like, you're in you're on a quiet road because this is a side entrance. So you don't really hear anything happening until you see through the bars of the gate this guard sprint seemingly from the side of the house. And then you just hear in a very shaky voice them go, Gorfangs, you're needed, please. And you hear the echoing growl of 3 heads. And the scraping of claws on the earth and things like that as this hound assumedly starts to move. The guard then says, the Lord's son Markel has been kidnapped. We need you to track the culprits down, and also him, and make sure the son is brought back unharmed. And then you just hear a 3-headed howl as this thing goes bounding off. Let me check something. Okay. Okay. So Bu- 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 bu. Okay. You guys hurry on along quickly and are able to. Yeah. Sorry, I was just double checking how survival works for tracking. Yeah. So, you hear this howl and the bounding of this thing. You very briefly see it through the bars because you are close enough to it without it spotting you. So you see, I'm going to bring it up. A three-headed canine. That hide has been peeled away, leaving wet sinew and bulging tendons as it races towards what you assume to be the front of the house. It bounds off, and a few moments later, the four of you see Sebastian in his servant garb still, and a young man with long, flowing dark hair, a withered hand in a sling, and a bag around his shoulder come round the corner.
I think we need to book it.
Yeah, I think there's a
Or at
giant
least you two do.
three-headed monster coming.
It is called Gorfangs, and it will try and eat at least one of you.
Yeah.
Try. But I'm not wearing my armor, and Markel here was unhappy with his continued residence, so we decided to leave. So I might continue leaving if it's okay with you.
Sewers.
All right.
Probably tracks by scent, right? Sewers.
The sewers, really?
Well, I mean,
Also
either
gonna
that
have a
or-
hard time getting down the manhole.
Oh, fine. You guys can head for the nearest sewer grate. Dive in. What I will actually say, you guys won't need to roll for this because you said this very early on, and Sebastian did some killer rolls there. You guys are able to find a nearby sewer grate. The strongest among you are able to lift it up. Go down. Markel is a little slow climbing down because he's climbing down with one hand. So he's doing it very gingerly as he's going down this ladder. But you're able to get him down into the sewer, and I'll say, who would be the last one to go down the grate and pull the thing up? Evie? Cool. All right. So the rest of you have gone down. Evie, last one, has grabbed the grate, and you look up in time to see this skinless, three-headed monstrosity sniffing like on the floor, and kind of comes round, growling. Comes round and looks up and sees you just as you boop. Disappear from sight.
Enjoy that lack of
Um,
opposable thumbs, fool.
Let me double check the deal with Gorfans, because Gorfans has got an extra little bit here. Okay, yeah. Cool. Yeah, you guys are able to. So you guys are now in the sewers. You have a very disgruntled noble complaining as you drag him through the sewers. Um,
I'm sorry, Marquez.
and
This is the only way to get past the three-headed monster that will eat one of us, as you so astutely said. Can
uh,
can can I just quickly ask, because
mm,
it is important. Um, your relationship with the captain. You you're
his
more than just friends, right?
his entire demeanor changes as the mention of the captain. There's like a little bit of a blush, and it's like, well, was that not um
I
what
don't
did
read people's private correspondence.
what did Cassius tell you about this?
He just wanted me to deliver a letter and get a response. I mean, he looked like he was quite worried about you, and I did see something in his eyes. But look, I just, if I'm honest, I'd really hoped this was a mission of love. And if you're his best friend or his half brother or something, that's fine. I just really hoped that this was some sort of you know romance situation that I'd help. That would make my day, because I
Roll a
like to
sense
believe in
motive is
romance.
roll a sense motive. It's not a hard DC. Anyone who wants to can roll a sense motive.
I'd love to. I am so ready for them to fancy each other.
I
Cool.
refuse to on principle.
Okay, so
I
Asmund
refuse to.
Sebastian, you know that this blush is oh, they are not brothers. They are not just friends. The man be smitten. The man be smitten with the captain.
Are they
Sebastian
roommates?
in this, covered in the grime of the sewer, being chased by a three-headed dog, is suddenly about an inch taller, as he's just filled with, pride and happiness, and knowing that he's done exactly the right thing, and he feels justified.
Fantastic.
It was all worth it.
So the so Whist, who did get higher, 1 second, let me find the thing. Here we go. Yeah. Whist, you get that he's smitten. You also probably get a little bit more of like, there's a fondness. There's a fondness that goes beyond just being smitten, beyond just a crush. There's like an additional fondness there of some level of relationship is going on. And there is also, you think, a level of you're not sure if it's excitement, panic, like that kind of emotion of like also amplified by the fact that he is now on the run. But that element of my boyfriend asked me to move in with him. Oh my god. Is that energy is coming from him.
Okay.
And Markel just kind of like goes to trying to respond to Sebastian a couple of times, and it's very much like stop-start a little bit.
I mean, he was very coy. It seemed like he wasn't giving anything away, but it seemed more like he was very preoccupied. It's almost like he couldn't give anything else of himself away. He'd already given it to another.
You really think so?
Yeah. I mean, even the Commodore, like, he didn't seem as interested in Commodore Peanut as one should be in a monkey that's risen to such a high office. Yeah.
Oh, the damn monkey. All right. Yes, right. Well, when you say that it was just to deliver a letter, what else did he tell you about why it needed to be delivered?
Um,
I mean, um, he didn't give us a lot of details, and he was very insistent that we do so, and very offered us uh, his his help, his support if we did. But he was quite keen that that we should you know get your response and bring it to him. I believe the term was word for word, but he didn't really tell us what that response would be. I just well
He... Oh, that man. Oh, that man. All right. He told you that you were to expect a verbal response.
yeah.
All right. Well,
But
I'll be sure to have words with him when we get to the ship.
I mean, look, I think he was trying not to say anything too much in case we got, caught and interrogated. This is an awful, what phrase
Mm.
it's an awful fascist state where Barzilai through and tortures people with impunity. He probably didn't want to give too much away, so please don't be too harsh on him.
All right. No, it does make sense.
Whist will wink and will say, "Look, I genuinely don't know what it says, but if it says something like what we were talking about, you should definitely say yes."
Oh, I think my answer will be obvious when we get there. So he didn't tell you who I was?
Nope.
Why,
He didn't
why
tell you
are
what I
we
do?
Why are we being coy at this stage? We're walking next to a floating river of turds with somebody that will now get us a kidnapping charge from
How
Barzilai.
poetic.
We suspect you may be involved in the latest of the governor's various unhinged edicts, shall we say?
You've actually managed to work out more than my father, then.
Seemed too much of a coincidence that this comes out and we get such a compromising request from a Chelish captain.
No, my father thinks that I'm working with the Silver Ravens, which I've never met them, but they sound like an interesting lot. No, you're actually more on the money. Have you heard of the poison pen?
Oh, are you
Why
then?
not?
I would be indeed. Unfortunately, my latest attempts to respond to the current state of affairs I had to destroy before my father found them. I can rewrite them for the most part, I think. Later. Hopefully Cassius has some good pens. Well, I have the pens, I need the paper.
I'm sure he has an island full of pens. But yes, your father
He
is
just kind of
actually
falls silent at that.
he's surprising. Your father, I think, is surprisingly on the money as well.
How so? Wait, are you the Silver Ravens? Oh, hold on. A captain of the Chalish Navy approached the up and coming rebellious group going against a Lord Mayor of a city state in order to save me. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that the state of affairs right now?
When you put
Well,
it,
This will be
that does
best
sound like
hair,
love, doesn't it?
noble
You
and
can
good.
tell it's a mystery.
Oh wow. No one was ever going to believe me. Everyone's going to say that this is far too fantastical to be real. Well, thank you. And I will make sure that Cassius definitely pays you handsomely for this. Anything to make sure that you keep doing the good work. All right.
So
Uh,
you write some interesting letters, yeah? Missives,
letters,
things for the
reviews,
papers.
poetry, that kind of thing, yes.
Well, you know, I don't know. Cassius is probably wanting to keep you away, but like, we neither confirm nor deny our who or what we are. But even if you decide to go offshore to make your news statements, new reviews, I think the people of Kintargo need to hear your fine words. And I mean, I don't mind dropping a few brochures around the city. You know, they fall out of some packs and land on the market corners. I think
Tell you what, I'll get the pamphlets made, and if you have the runners spare.
Yeah, I'm free. Yeah.
I didn't mean specifically you.
Twist is very good at running. Very, very physical.
I'm sure he'd be better than me.
My name.
You know my name. You know both of them. Why are we doing this?
No, I'm trying to keep up an air of mystery. Okay, right.
Well, definitely succeeding.
But I do have a group of people who are really fond of breakfast that are actually looking for some jobs to do in exchange for breakfast. So I think they'd be really into this. It's not a euphemism. That is literally they really like eating breakfast.
You pay them in breakfast. Pay them in breakfast.
No, but yes, actually, I was going to say no. I just happen to have breakfast, and they then do some jobs for me. But now I'm realizing I am paying them a breakfast. Yeah, no, that is what I'm doing. Yeah.
In fairness, it's a lot of breakfast. I'm pretty sure they don't eat between the breakfasts. I think you just pay for all of their food.
That makes more sense. We'll definitely be able to work something out. Moving back to the chaos going on in House Alorian, and Albrecht, who is in the middle of giving a couple of guards orders while Auxis Alorian shouts for Gorfangs.
I was hoping not to have an explicit demonstration of why relying solely on a singular hellhound can compromise your security, but
he gives you a death glare that you think if there was magic behind it, you would actually be in danger with how he's glaring at you. You will either help or you will leave this house at once.
If you let me know what was taken, I can have a look and see what.
My
can be done.
son!
I see. I will return home immediately and make sure that we get House Dynasty resources behind this.
He's just watching you. Doesn't respond otherwise.
I'll offer a slightly deeper bow and say, we will likely speak again, I'm sure. And then I will turn to head out.
Okay. You head out. The guard who ran off has come back quite clearly, still concerned, upset, and is staring ahead at the gate. And he sees you come up and he's like, "Be careful when you're leaving." Gorfang started sniffing, tracking something, and then left. So, if you see a 3-headed, skinless dog, don't engage it.
Gonna gently rest a hand on his shoulder and say, I am an aspirant Hell Knight. There is nothing from hell that would frighten me. And then leave.
Good luck, sir. You can leave. As long as if you head in the direction that when you leave, which way are you going? Are you heading in the direction of where you know everybody was, or are you just going off into the Greens proper and going to try to catch up with them later?
Can he see the Trail of Roses?
You can see
He
the trail.
would.
You can see the Trail of Roses come out of the door and then head down the side of the house towards the western gate.
What I'd probably do is take a different route over to the Scourge of Belial.
Okay, fantastic.
Just meet up with them there.
Cool. You head on through. You're walking around there below ground, walking through the streets as per normal. I will say that you guys do probably get there at the same time. It's hard to navigate. Done it a lot yet. You probably get a little bit lost a couple of times. But you are able to get out of the sewers in the old quarter just as Albrecht gets to which part of the map was it again? I'm trying to remember. It was past the Salt Gate, that was it. Albrecht is getting past the Salt Gate just as you guys are coming up, and there is the Scourge of Belial, still very much a bit broken and battered, but otherwise standing regal in the dock as you guys all meet up.
Great work,
those of you who went by those of you who've gone by the sewers are a little bit dirtier, definitely need a good bath, but otherwise are all intact.
Don't think you could make the old man more angry at you if you tried.
I mean, mission accomplished, right?
Oh, I can suggest like 3 or 4 things that would help.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not.
I'm great at disappointing people. Unfortunately, my father is impossible to disappoint.
Did you secure
We should
an agreement?
we should trade.
Maki.
I know you probably wouldn't survive, my father. He's very demanding in certain ways.
I feel like that's par for the course for noble fathers.
Mm,
Well, I think we'll all be a lot happier when we get on board a boat?
Master Illyrian, I presume.
Yes, and you must be the devilishly Hansel Alberic I keep hearing about.
Is that what they've been
No,
saying about me?
Why do I know
I mean-
your name?
You most likely know my uncle's name, Jeff Tennyson.
Yes, I do. You're with that is fascinating. That's fun. Oh, that's so much fun.
Albert can also
That's
give you
fun.
pointers on disappointing fathers. And
Albert.
other people.
Do you have the agreement from the young master's father about whatever you plan to sell House Elorian on?
Negotiations are now somewhat changed by by Master Allure disappearance. I suspect without securing your return, I'd have a very hard time negotiating much of anything.
Do you need to?
Have you set in motion at least the illusion that you're doing something?
We've made the first steps. I suspect the ultimate success is going to lie in Markel's hands.
Well, I'm not
steal
going
it.
back. No, I'm getting on that boat and I'm never getting off it again. Not until Thurun is gone.
Right. We drop you off, and can I suggest making a hue and cry about how helpful you're being? It's purely for appearances, I know, but nobility are slaves to appearance.
Well, I hate to be the one to say this because I'm the one that's putting you in into this mess, but I am going to continue over here. And he kind of just starts walking towards the ship.
I don't want to miss this. I'm going to follow him.
Ash,
Yeah.
are there any like sellers on the street corner, like anyone selling like hot nuts or anything like that, or like street sellers?
This market is more for trade, so it's the medieval equivalent of Costco. Instead of selling hot nuts.
Any children's hats?
Oh, I see.
No
where you're
children's
going.
clothes?
Oh, I see. It's probably it's a funny idea and I love it. In this area, it's probably more to be like just like the fabric than actual made up items.
Well, I mean, okay. Is there a fine bolt of blue velvet, maybe blue brocade?
You can find a bolt of blue brocade at one of the stalls.
How much will that be?
For a full bolt?
Oh yeah, so to make a full outfit.
Oh my! You don't need a full bolt to make an outfit for a monkey.
Fine, let's go with 3 meters.
That's so much material for a monkey. He's a small monkey.
Gotta make sure
Um,
that
What if
gets
he's not very
okay,
good at
thanks.
sewing? Or
They don't have a dialogue organization system. You don't want to have to like try and color match. Not in this economy.
Okay. Let's see. Clothing in containers. Okay, so a noble's outfit for a person is 75 gold.
Okay. So how about 30 gold?
You want to
Give it-
spend? Okay, you can get 30 golds worth of brocade. Make a outfit for the monkey. You might be able to make a little cap out of it too. You won't be able to do it to give to the captain today. You have to go away and make the outfit. Okay.
I'm going to present the brocade. I assume he's a commodore. He has a
Okay.
seamstress. Like.
Okay, yeah, you can buy 30 golds worth of brocade to have to present to the monkey.
Good. Then I am ready to see the sparks fly.
Okay, fantastic. Whisk goes to do that. Does anybody else do anything before following Markel?
If I go
Like
on
to
board that ship,
clean
will I
myself up
be-
slightly.
Will I be sad?
Are you asking me or asking the group?
I'm probably asking Sebastian. Will I be sad or angry at something?
I think we're about to see an uplifting demonstration of love, and the fact that love is more important to this man than order and his position in the Chalaxian organization should be filling your heart with joy, because that is the strength that will get us through this rebellion. He cares more about someone he loves than about his duty to a silly oath to a devil-bound throne. I can't think of anything better for us. You might need to look at it from an angle to see it, but I genuinely think that that is the power that will break the iron grip of Thrune. People caring and doing things about it.
I'm gonna let you all do that. I'll just be there's a pub like over there. I just want to keep an eye out on things in the harbour just in case.
Up to you. But I'm not missing this for the world.
Okay. So who is going to go watch the drama?
100%.
Sure.
Okay. Is Albrecht also going to go watch the drama?
Albrecht's more in the case of I'm going to go and get paid, but
Fantastic. Okay. So all but Evie and Gideon follow Markel in the direction of the ship. Evie is going to go find a nearby pub. Gideon, what are you doing?
I was going along as well after Sebastian's impassioned.
Oh, you're going as well now. So it's just Evie not attending. Fantastic. So everyone's going except Evie. Cool. The five of you, I'll describe the ship again. Let's see, where is it? So you step onto the deck of a sleek 3-masted warship, which is undergoing extensive repairs. Like there's chunks missing out of the mast, and there's wood and disarray everywhere. The crew is all milling around quite clearly in the middle of trying to fix things up. They do spot you and eye you with suspicion again. The lieutenant, I think she was. Yeah, the lieutenant is walking along the deck and spots you all and then spots Markel, and like her eyes widen a minute as Markel just, without missing a beat, marches past her and goes straight for the cabin's the captain's cabin. Going, doors flung open inside, and very quickly the description again. So there's windows of stained glass. There are walls hung with seascape paintings and nautical antiques. The cabin itself is large and spacious, with smells of pleasant spices and rare incense. There is a halfling still playing the violin in the corner, who does not pause even as the door flings open. And Cassius, who is sat at his large ornate desk in the middle of papers, looks up in time to see Markel stride in.
So hot on
And-
Markel's heels.
The
Right
rest of
there.
you following in time for you to hear. Here's your Cassius, and you look in time to see Cassius, who any like coolness and any of the like the coyness, the kind of arrogance that he held before has completely vanished as he straight up sweeps Markel off his feet and like embraces him and holds him close.
I carefully lower my hand in front of the monkey's eyes so he can't see.
Monkey grabs your hand, looks over your hand.
Fair enough.
And you see the two of them kiss tenderly, eagerly. At this point, Cassius, you start to come down Cassius's face.
Not crying. They're happy tears.
The happy tears, good. And you think he's mumbling something, but he's just holding Markel close. My sweet boy, how impulsive you are. Why did you do this? There isn't really an answer given. It's not that kind of a question. It's just, there's just relief and everything else coming in for the two of them as they hold each other in this moment. And the rest of you, I guess, enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, great campaign, Ash. I mean, wonderful. I can't think of a better end. Thanks.
GG, guys. So when they part, because they finally do, Cassius sees the lot of you kind of milling around the door. And again, the sternness is gone. He's just, you can still see the tears welling up in his eyes. Just completely awash with gratitude, and he goes, I am truly in all of your debt. Thank you.
It is good. It is good to have been able to support such a worthy cause, and I'm very happy for you both. But yes, I think this is but a small part of what we face. You know who we are, what we're trying to do. With your position and your vessel, you can be an enormous help to us, and you know we will need to call upon that at some point. But for the moment, just enjoy yourself and keep your ears open and find out when you can aid the Silver Ravens. And I think we'd also like to distribute some of your partner's materials a little illicitly, so that his art can be enjoyed by Kintargo for a longer time.
Are you okay with this? And he turns to Markel, and Markel's like, you can't stop me. My father couldn't, you certainly can't. And he kind of sighs, but is still smiling and is very much like happy and grateful to be in this moment and having to consider this. And he goes, very well. I am a man who honors my debts. Never let anybody say that I'm not. And he grabs a teacup that's on the desk, drains it in one mouthful, and holds it out to Sebastian. You do not throw this, but you do drop it on the floor. And Sebastian, roll a d10 for me, please. If you're going to drop it, roll a d10.
Well, he's told me to drop it. This man and works on true love. Who am I to stand in the way of his habits? Let me try and roll a d10 on Roll20. 3.
Okay. So you see the cup shatter into 3, not equal, but 3 clear pieces. And he quickly whistles, and the violin playing stops for a moment as the halfling hops down, scurries over, and picks up the 3 pieces before handing them to you, Sebastian. The fragments of this cup represent the number of favors that I owe you. Anything short of outright public treason to the Queen, I'll do. Write your request on a scrap of paper and use it to wrap a shard of the teacup. Deliver it in person or perhaps one of your methods, and I will do it. So just to confirm, you guys have 3 favors of the captain, and he has said you will have anything short of outright treason to the Queen.
West will clear his throat, much like I did, and step forward. He's got the bolt of brocade kind of laid over his arms in a presentation fashion, and he'll bow a deep, courteous bow worthy of Blue Blood himself, and will say, in honor of this commitment to each other and the bringing together of yourselves, I would like to present the Commodore with a symbol of our alliance, this fine brocade, with which I hope he will make something worthy of the party we shall all have once Kintargo is free to enjoy fine publications like your own again. And I will present it to the monkey. And yeah, I mean, the monkey's not going to take it. I'm not going to move till it's taken. Someone's going to have to break this. It ain't going to be me.
Cassius will take the brocade, and will look bemused more than anything else, but he does lay it on the table near where Commodore Peanut is, and Commodore Peanut then starts investigating the fabric. A corner of the fabric goes into his mouth to test it, you suppose.
Yeah. It is only the finest brocade, my Commodore, and I will give him a smart salute, which is very much like Whist's idea of a smart salute, like a child who's seen the idea of saluting, and then we'll step back at attention, and then glance up at Blue Blood, and kind of like relax and I think I did that all right. I think that was
like Markel is barely holding back the laughter, and Cassius is there like, You're lucky I'm in a good mood.
No jury would convict me.
That's because nobody is your peer. Let's go. And thank you.
Thank you.
As I head out, I'm gonna say to the terrifying gunslinger first mate lady,
Hmm.
I think they might not want to be disturbed for like, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes. Just maybe stop anyone from going in there. Maybe send up some snacks, something like that.
Try 2 days. I know what to do. Don't worry about it.
Until next
And
time,
then
my friend.
as you're leaving, you hear Captain Salgata immediately shout for supplies needed for a bath. As you guys walk back down the gangplank and go find Evie. So Evie, were you trying to find a spot specifically in the Old Salt Quarter, or were you just going to whichever pub you could find first? Because there aren't really many pubs in the market area.
Presumably I'll go to somewhere in the Old Salt Quarter rather than like just in the market.
Okay, so ships over here basically. This is the old gate, and this is Tooth and Nail, which you guys know. Guys know Tooth and Nail. You know Citrona. So, and that's probably actually the closest pub, which is nowhere near the ship, unfortunately, but it's probably the closest active pub that you know is friendly, I guess, unless you're
I'll
not
go-
bothered.
I'll go
Yeah.
to the Tooth and Nail. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, cool. You go to the Tooth and Nail. You're there first. Citrona is there. Ellie is there. There's a couple of people that you've recognized are regulars here. Citrona looks up at you. Is like, you look to have been through an interesting part of town. Like eyeing like the dirt from the sewers on your clothes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been one of those days. Real shit.
Literally.
More than I'd like, yes.
Most of the actual in space is closed, but we still have some baths that you can use.
I literally just put down a platinum piece and go, yes.
She gets Ellie to watch out the front as she guides you up the stairs, and there are probably a bunch of like things that used to be like in bedrooms that you could rent out for the night, which are at this point assumedly closed. But then she guides you to this large room that's got old style metal bath in it. There's this is old style because it's old quarter, so it will be water heated up on a fire that she goes over to light and then poured in. So she goes to light the fire. She's there like, are you okay filling the bath yourself?
Yep, I'm perfectly happy to do that. If I could just have the room to myself for 2 hours. If the others come in, tell them I'm having a bath and will be a while.
Yeah, no, I've got it. All right, I'll give you 3. And she heads on out. Like the fire is lit, and you have a way of being able to get water in here without disturbing her because I don't know, you can do that. So you now have the time and the quiet to yourself as you go to have a bath.
Quickly just put a chair up against the door so no one could barge in
Yeah,
and can have a bath.
fantastic. And those of you who were on the ship and have now left, what are you guys doing now?
I look at the others. We've done the mission I want to do. Do any of them need help with anything else?
Well, I mean, we've got a play to write, I guess. We could all just, I don't know about you, but rescuing the PP has got me a bit in the
We can't call him the PP.
in
That's
the
not nice.
creative mood. I feel like maybe I could turn my hand to literature. I reckon I could make art. Don't know about the rest of you.
Do we need to do anything to like backfill what you promised or said, Alberic? I don't want to leave you in an awkward position. Do you need any help?
You
Likewise.
already have, Sebastian, with all due respect. You were supposed to get a reply from him, not kidnap him.
I mean, he didn't want to stay there.
Yes, a very noble aspiration, but now I have no opportunity to make any kind of deal with him until his son is returned, which now we can't do.
Well, you were going in to talk about the security, yeah? Like, surely that's just proven that the security is really, really bloody shocking. I mean, he was in the house and his son was nicked from out of his own nose. That's depressing, isn't it? I'd say, if anything, it strengthened your hand.
I think
I
maybe
mean-
I didn't help, but thanks, Wist. What about Asmoth? Do you have any irons in the fire?
My only concerns at the moment would be the rumblings of the person impersonating, or at least following the MO of Professor Mangvoon.
Oh, I'm not sure I know a lot about that. Could you tell me what's happening?
Could have sworn I had stuff
I mean,
written about this.
You do.
Uh,
Do you want me to give the lowdown again, as Asmoth
Please.
reels
Yeah.
this off?
Yeah, please.
Okay. The Asmoth is referring to the Temple Hill Slasher, an entity who was around over 100 years ago in Kintargo. Let me find the notes.
Oh yeah, I've got my notes on Professor Mangvoon.
You got it? Fantastic. There you go then.
It was a lot higher up than I was expecting it to be on my massive post-it note thing.
Fair enough.
Professor Mangvoon, more famously known as the Temple Hill Slasher, operated just over 100 years ago. It's actually a professor who taught at the Alabaster Academy. He was captured and executed, but there is somebody that seems to be copycatting his MO, largely slashing the bodies, brutalizing, with a degree of savagery and understanding of the anatomy, the layout of the body. The victims were often found in the early hours of the morning. Where are these murders been committed again?
The blue box on the map is is where most of the murders have been located, and the circle around 12 is the place is called the Iudamus Tenement, which
Which I
ended
think
up
we did.
on your guys' radar because the 2 kids went missing.
How's the tenement spelled?
Tenement.
I can spell tenement. There's the word before it I was having trouble with.
Oh,
Iudamus.
Iudamus. I'll pop it in the chat for you.
Just
There you go. I don't know what's happening with the capitalization there. Don't question it.
The Udimus.
there's some missing children.
There's twin boys, I believe it is, who are young of teenage age, went missing recently, and they're from that block.
There's missing children around the Iudamus tenement, and other disappearances in the area. There's some similarities to Temple Hill Slasher. We barely scratched the surface when we investigated there. I would appreciate looking into this further.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guess we got to
That
do that.
sounds
haven't we?
like a lot more serious, but yes, that's certainly a thing we need to work on. Help the poor people who live in that area be protected from whatever this is. Do you know what race this professor was? Some races, dwarves, elves.
He was human, and he was executed publicly. He is, at least in terms of a physical body, long dead.
Okay.
Those of you who remember going to the museum, the abandoned museum, there was the wax gallery in one corner, and one of the wax figures that was in there was of Manghuv, was of the Temple Hill Slasher, in like the coat with like a surgical knife in his hand. And the wax version of it, as much as it didn't have a face due to age, you get the impression it was human.
Okay. Well, if it was human and executed so long ago, it's probably somebody trying to recreate his work, some crazed fan or copycat, as you say. I think that sounds like the next thing we need to bend our efforts to. We could go there. We could. There is a curfew in effect, so it's slightly harder for us to move around. But we could go there. We could go there, maybe at night, and stake the place out. So if we see anybody suspicious moving around, but a number of suspicious people moving around are probably people trying to avoid the curfew. So yeah, difficult.
Might I suggest and all, like, before we do anything else, I don't know a lot about Cerberopods, but they're I imagine they're pretty into tracking, right? Especially when they've got someone who's son was nicked. So maybe we should all have a little bath first to get the old smell of the day off. Maybe wear some really
certainly
strong
should.
perfume.
Yeah, but also
All right.
considers that if this thing has also picked up our individual sense, bathing could potentially strengthen our natural scent to this creature while being caked in shice is
Okay.
allowing us to
Anybody
small
who
amounts of
wants
camouflage.
to, anyone who wants to can make a knowledge planes check for me if you've got the skill.
Do.
Nope.
You need to take off the bonuses now, though. Pop.
Okay,
Go.
cool. So Cerberus. Um. So you guys know. So let's see. Sebastian, you know that Cerberus are lawful evil outsiders. Obviously, they are devils. In terms of their tracking ability, they have an ability called Soul Scent. Which most of it doesn't matter too much to you. They have an addition, they are better at tracking undead. They can even track incorporeal creatures like ghosts, due to the soul scent ability. But it functions the same way as scent does. So if you were within range of the creature, within 30 feet of it, it could track you to the point where it can know that you're nearby and can basically pin down your location. You also know that they can follow tracks by smell. A fresh trail is very easy for them to track. Every hour the trail goes cold, the DC increases by 2. What you do know is that the trail was broken for it based on the fact that you went down into the sewers and then popped up on the opposite side of the city. So unless they help Gorfangs go into the sewers, it's then got the smell of the sewers to contend with. It can't follow your trail that way. If it is allowed out into the city proper, it may then be able to find you just by happening upon you because it may have an idea of what you. It won't be easy for it to do, and the only way that they'll get away with it is if they do just let the thing out into the city.
I'll relay all that information to my colleagues and say, look, if maybe we do need to take a small delay. If we go back to a place and rest, either our hideout or another place, by the time a long sort of a long leisurely rest, such as one might take of an evening, by the time that time has passed, the trail will be very cold, and even if they unleash a Cerberus into the streets, which I guess they may be willing to do, given the stakes of the son of the house being missing. If the trail is cold, I don't think it has much chance of finding us. So we could retreat for now and then reconvene at a time of our choosing to investigate this tenement. I think I still think we did the right thing, but yes, it would be good to put some distance between us and this powerful tracker.
Sounds good to me.
What time is it? We started this whole
At
thing in the
this
morning.
point, it's probably afternoon. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you had the time in the morning. You then had to trek through the
Yeah.
sewers, the city, respectfully. So we're approaching probably early to afternoon right now.
What time would you like us to be at this tenement, Asmuth? Would you like the dead of night because that's when this thing probably operates, or would you like during the day to ask questions and easier travel, or
We've already sort of reconnoitered during the day and found what we found. I do not think daytime questioning is going to avail us of any useful further information. Was unlikely to. I am hesitant, I suppose, to drag us all out into the middle of the night for what could be wild goose chase. But at the same time, the dead of night is the only time we are likely to encounter this individual. Other options are using the network, but I am hesitant to place others into potential danger.
crazy murderer recreating the acts of a criminal from hundreds of years ago, killing people in a horrific way. This, I don't want to put words into my colleagues' mouths, but this sounds like a job for the Silver Ravens.
I'm not saying this is not a job for us.
But yeah, if you want us on the roofs looking out, we'll do that. But I was very vociferous about what we should do in a matter of true love. I'm a bit less certain about how to deal with well, let's call it what it is, a serial killer on the loose. I mean, I don't like the idea of any of us playing the victim to bait him out. I don't know if we'll be. I don't know if the night is a good enough time to try and just hope and find them, but I'm willing to give it a shot if you think it's a good idea.
I think information is key here. I do not wish to engage before we are fully understanding of what we are dealing with, if that is making sense.
Okay, great. Let's do some reconnoitering tomorrow.
All right. We got a plan then.
Okay. What are you guys doing for today then? You guys are still in the old quarter. Tooth and Nails nearby. If there's the sweet shop. You're on the right side of the city to go to the Devil's Nursery. what do you guys want to do for the rest of your day? You all also possibly want to wash up at some point. Follow Evie's lead.
Yeah, go to a local tavern, get washed up. Has Gideon ever mentioned any of his concerns about various people? Or is that all just Thursday? Because I don't want to metagame.
What about how
Gideon?
how Gideon is kind of quite suspicious of somebody that we've met instantly picking like half of our crew that are let's say it profoundly socially misfit and kind of fucking weird and is you know, it could be a thing. Maybe my game is just not as good, but like I have made my opinions clear on the lady that runs a sweet shop next to a tavern in the old city that is hitting on people like it's going out of fashion.
So that's a yes, you have made your suspicions clear. I don't want to go to the tavern next to the sweet shop to wash up then, because I've just made a big point on the fact that Sebastian wants Gideon to trust him on matters of the heart. I'm gonna listen to Gideon and make it clear that I'm listening to him on matters of the paranoid rebel. So I go to a different location to get cleaned up.
Okay, cool. Where's Gideon going? Considering Ellie's at the tooth and nail.
Is there a laundrette in the Devil's Nursery?
It's a slums. So not like you could probably like work out a way to be able to get cleaned up at the Devil's Nursery.
I imagine there'd be like people who'd be willing to like take in laundry for payment.
Probably, yeah.
That was a very working class occupation. For
yeah.
I will pay somebody to do some laundry for us.
Yeah. You can definitely go.
A reasonable amount to get us laundered the fuck up.
For I don't know, probably how much I need to pull up the goods and services again, don't I? There we go. Hiring servants and services. Doop-a-doo. Oh, laundry. 1 silver piece.
Okay, I assume that's like per person who's.
For one person, it would be a silver piece. Yeah.
Okay, right.
It's actually listed in the goods and services.
It's almost like it's a thing. I'll gather up any clothes that any members of the party want laundered, and I will take them in. I will pay a gold piece, which is cost plus tip.
Yep.
Please.
There is also, just so you guys know, lawyer is also on this. Do you think Sebastian would be a novice, competent, or experienced lawyer?
This is like asking. It's like saying to a woman, "How old are you?" This is a trap question.
Do you think his services? Do you think his services would be worth 5 silver, 3 gold, or 10?
I think probably closer to the midpoint, maybe the lower point. Like I don't spend all my time doing it. Obviously, adventurers have more skills than other people, but I have a +5 in my lawyer skill. So
at least 3 gold.
Horrible.
Well, if you're a +5 and took 10 on a profession roll, that would be 15 silver pieces,
Yeah.
based purely
So
on
I'm
the rules,
halfway.
but Paizo have been
Yeah.
consistent.
Yeah, I'm half. So that would mean I'm half as good as an actual proper lawyer, which is fair enough, and nowhere near as good as a real lawyer.
Sure. Okay. So Gideon is taking any clothes people want to leave with, going over to the Devil's Nursery to go get those loaded. Does anybody want to go with?
Yeah, I'll go with Gideon. I don't want to go to
Cool.
the sweet shop with the strange lady who might be, Bars Lythroon's mum.
Okay.
You're-
Cool.
You're free to do whatever you want. You can make
No.
any choices that you're
No,
willing to make.
I'm choosing to trust you on this one.
Okay. What's everyone else doing while these two go to the Devil's Nursery?
I'll be joining them in the Devil's Nursery. Just one being like, "This is my turf. Do not do not slip up. Do not insult anyone."
Yeah. The way that, like, at this point, you and Gideon have this down to a fine art. Comes so much, but you still give the spiel. But yeah, no, that's great. So you three are going to the Devil's Nursery. Evie is already in. Albrecht and Whist.
Whist is going to he entrusts Gideon with his hat, which has picked up quite a few complicated smells over the past few weeks and really does need a clean. And he is going to sneak into the Tooth and Nail and try and get Emily's eye to get a bath before Satrona sees him covered in poo.
Cool. Fantastic. Albrecht.
Good question. I don't have to have a bath unlike everyone else, which is nice.
Yes. You could just go to the Tooth and Nail and just have a good time. You could just enjoy yourself.
Honestly, yeah. I will just sit there and have a couple of drinks.
Fantastic. So Whist and Albrecht go over to the Tooth and Nail. Albrecht opens the door. Whist darts in past him, past his legs to try and sneak up to the bar. Zatrova, at this point, Satrona is currently not anywhere particularly. Emily is manning the bar. Kind of does see you scooch over, and she just kind of leans over and is like, "You all right there?"
Stressful day.
Yeah? What's up with, I do not recognize you for a second. Whist, where's your hat?
What? Yeah, it's having a wash. Look, it's the bath free. Please say the bath's free.
Evie beat you to it.
All right. Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you got do you need? Can I hide in the cellar? Can I hide in the cellar?
You want to hide in the place? You want to hold on. You want to hide in the place where the booze and the food is kept.
I'm not. Look, Emily.
I thought business were meant to be smart.
Look, I need you to hide me.
What's in it for me?
Oh, okay. Blue blood, close your ears.
Happily.
I'll set you and Gideon up. I'll do it right good, right? Fendelfek, he's really good. He could, I don't know, confuse people into not being there, and it would be really romantic. Like, oh no, all the lights have turned out. Oh,
grabs you by the scruff and she grabs you, like, you are in the middle of speaking. She grabs you by the scruff and, takes you into some sort of back room, drags you into the back room. She's surprisingly strong, apparently. Clerics, who knew? and she
I
drags you into
genuinely didn't.
she drags you into a back room, and like drops you down, and then scurries like goes into like a cupboard, pulls out a bucket, and is like, "Just, I'll get you some water."
Cheers. Yeah, all right. And Whist will start the long and laborious process of unbraiding his hair, which is tangled up in an awful lot of poo at this point, and
Lovely.
probably hasn't been sorted for a couple of days. It isn't great. We need to get
No.
sorted.
Yeah, cool. So,
Did you
Emily
go
hides.
swimming in the sewers, not walking on?
I'm very short. You lot are tall, and I have very, very long hair. It is like down to my shins. You
I will also point out, gnomes are very proud of that. As a thing, like they've got
That's
very
true.
flamboyant hair. So yeah, Emily hides you in the back.
We're fabulous.
The water is probably tepid at best. But she also manages to scrounge you some soap, and you are able to, in the back rooms with a bucket, get yourself cleaned. So
What a
she kind of
hero.
like puts all of that. She's like, "Okay, that's my good deed done for the day. I'll be out the front when you need me." And she goes off to continue to man the doing while you clean up. I will say, despite the fact you're doing it with a bucket, you do clean up faster than Evie does. Because Evie
Cool.
has been given 3 hours to be in the bath.
Evie's got nowhere else to be, and like, even if Whist wanted a bath, Whist's a wizard. They can clean themselves with magic. That's one of their big things. All
Yeah.
casters have that one spell that cleans you with magic.
So yeah, you manage to clean yourself up. You manage to clean up your clothes and stuff. Your hair is still kind of wet to damp when you put it back in the braid, but otherwise you are now clean again and can be out in polite society in front of Satrova.
Okay, I will
Right.
head back out, and yeah, we'll sit next to Blue Blood and get a half, and just like, I'm not even gonna say hello. I'm just gonna act like I was always here. My hair is sopping wet. I've clearly had a wash, but I'm gonna try and style it out.
So
And
you peek out to the front, and behind the bar, you can see Emily answer about something as you scooch round, hop up onto one of the bar stools, and then Satrone looks over and goes, "Oh, Whist! Fancy seeing you here.
Look to
What can we get
Blue-
you?"
and I'm going to start laughing as if he's just said a hilarious joke. And I'll go, yeah, good one. Yeah, well, half of ale. Just, and it's on Blue Blood. What a hero.
Oh, I'm not getting him out of this.
Shut up. Yeah,
What's the drink on the bar for you?
you're looking. I mean, no, you're. It's nice to see you.
He leans on the bar and like just smiles at you. How's your day been?
Whist absolutely has the look of a mouse that has been cornered by a cat. He'll say, yeah, good, really good, really, really good. Hey,
Yeah?
you're a really good barkeep.
you.
and
Thank you. I
he'll
appreciate that.
round his
By the
he'll-
way, okay, while you're drinking, she says, by the way, as much as I think the hat is horrible, seeing the full braid is quite something.
he'll splatter his drink slightly, and he'll say, it's takes a long time. Easier when someone helps. Not that no, I mean,
Oh, if you need help next time, just let me know, okay, honey?
I've actually really got to walk. Sausage needs walk. I'll grab Blue Blood's coin pouch, take some money out and put it on and say, keep the change and duck. I'm gonna dip. This is too much.
Oh,
You'll pay me back
fantastic.
for that, West.
You go. Okay, you duck. You hop off the stool. You go turn to leave, and the door opens. As someone steps into the bar, pushes the hood back to reveal. Let's find a picture of him. Rather, it's tan skin, but it's also kind of reddy tan, as there's also a pair of red poking out, which have now been revealed as he's pulled back the hood. Orangey red eyes, as a tiefling steps into the bar with all the confidence in the world. He looks around. Ah, Satrona, it's good to see you again. And Satrona goes, Hetamon, it's been too long, and she goes over. Gives him a quick hug. I didn't realise you were coming round today. And he goes, yes, well, I was hoping those new friends of yours would be around. And Satrona immediately looks to Whist, who is still like half hidden behind a bar stool, and Albric.
What are we being dragged into this time?
Ha. Well, shall we have a chat? And he like motions to a corner, which he's motioning to Blind, but is quite cozy and is clearly in the back. And he does this with an air of expertise almost.
All right,
Shall we?
go and follow.
Yeah, I guess. Right. Blue Blood.
Mm-hmm.
I need another half. I was kind of just leaving. I feel a bit drunk. I think I drank that too fast. Can you?
The drinks are on me, he says as he walks over to the table. Another round of whatever they have, please, Satrona, you're a darling. And he goes to sit.
And here I thought you didn't need any lessons on etiquette, West.
What's wrong? What did I do wrong? Oh, I meant is this guy a lord? Shit. Give me a sec. Oh, your lordship. Lord, I'll glance at Blue Blood. What's his name?
Oh, you're delightful.
I was
Please,
more
please,
referring to the
we
fact
do
that
actually need to.
You've jammed your so far in your mouth it's coming through your side.
Oh,
But that
how
won't.
badly I want to pick apart the reason why you're cowering behind the bar stool, but please, this is quite serious.
All right. Yeah. It was.
You have my attention.
It doesn't matter. Let's sit down and have a drink.
Okay.
What's going on?
Well, he sits. Zatrona brings over a whole, like, basically what your usuals are. A tall glass of wine for Hetamon. All right. There is going to be no subtle way to do this, so I shall have to do it candidly. I know that I am putting trust in you. I believe at this point I've earned the based on what I've seen of you and your group. But there is still trust here that I am giving, and I need you to understand that. Have you heard of the Rose of Kintargo?
Yeah.
What do
Sounds
you know
familiar,
of them?
certainly.
Well, I mean, I'd like to make an insight check. Sense motive.
Cool. Cool, sense motive.
Yeah.
Cool. He seems to be getting the measure of you and getting the measure of what you know. Whist, he's looking at you pointedly.
Okay. Well, I mean, they do a lot for Kintargo, and if someone's trying to really present themselves as someone aligning with them, I expect they'd wear a lot of red, fine shoes and other such accoutrement.
That'll be a bit too obvious, though, don't you think?
Well, yeah, but I'd say if I were the Rose, I probably would be powerful enough that I wouldn't care, and maybe I'd just be trying to show people I was about.
Being the flower is all well and good. But remember that the power of the rose comes from the thorns as much as it does from the bloom. But I'll take your notes on board for next time.
I get the feeling that I should be taking those notes on board as well.
Now then. This does feel odd. But I'm not approaching you today as a tailor. I'm approaching you because a member of my flock has been cut down.
Hey.
And I need your help to find out. Her name was Maletta. She was found in the early hours of the morning, slashed to pieces. I need your help to investigate her murder. And that's what we'll call it.
Okay, I've made that note.
Cliffhanger! Her name was Maletta. I'll put the name in the chat as the Rose of Kintargo presents himself before you.
I've definitely not met them before.
Definitely not.
Oh.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Fun fact, if you guys have gone back to the shop at any point to buy magic clothes, I was going to give you an extra mission from this guy. But you didn't. But it's fine.
Maybe we need to go
yeah.
back to the shop and get some magic clothes.
I mean, you haven't brought magic clothes from the shop before. First purchase.
All right, not all of us can afford magic clothes, Evie.
All
What do
right.
you
Well, I
mean?
hope you guys enjoyed that session.
Yeah.
As silly
session.
as it was. I'm glad. I'm glad. Very, very silly. We're getting back into more dark and serious themes with the next mission, which you guys will be level 5 for.
What?
Hooray.
Ooh.
There you go, level up. Level up for next time, guys.
yes.
Homework.
Only
Homework?
if you don't know what you're
I
doing.
just gave you the rose. I finally
you
gave you
did.
the face reveal for the rose, and now you're level 5.
It's very cool.
The Rose is very charismatic, and we should do what he says. And for no reason, I'm not biased. You need more clothes, though.
So, yeah, there you go. Thank you guys for playing, and anybody still around here at the end of the stream, thank you for joining us. I hope that was watch as it was for us to play. And just to remind everyone, we are raising the Albert Kennedy Trust as long as we are continuing this stream at the very least for this campaign book, which we are, I think, halfway through.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun dun dun. At level 5. But yeah, great times. Love this. This next adventure is gonna be so much fun for our resident wizard and also for our resident alchemist who loves surgery and stuff. I imagine, yeah, this will be
So-
great.
Asmoth, I mean, sounds like we're gonna find a oh, is Johnny even there? He's very still.
Johnny's
I'm
there.
here.
Oh, you're frozen on my picture. You're
I
just
think,
like glaring at me.
I think my connection's been
Oh, they-
dodgy all night, I think, so.
Oh, it was
Mine
a little
was
bit
dodgy
like
at one
blue
point as well.
ice. You were just like giving me a sort of like, ooh. I was like, okay, this is
smolder.
very intense. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna have the Asmoth and Whist having to work together, which which is a natural pairing, I think.
Yeah,
I feel it's like gonna be one of those things where we lean on the fourth wall a bit. It's like, we don't tend to get much time together, do we? No, it doesn't do well with the audience.
every season of Star Trek, we need to have two disparate characters stuck in the lift together, and when the power goes up, they have to work together to in an unlikely buddy situation to solve the problem. And this is just our, we've got the light whimsy of Asmoth and the grim brutality of Whist working together for once.
Oh, I love it. All right. But yeah, no, this next one's doing something a bit different. I don't think. Obviously, we had the Tooth Fairy situation in the last book. This is similar in that you're investigating things happening, but also has a quite different energy with it as well. So it should be interesting.
Interesting. Cool. Well, thank you for running.
Yeah.
No problem. Thank you for playing. And yeah.
Good to
Let
have
me
a
know
whole team.
plans. And we had a whole team. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll we'll do your level ups between now and August. To get to level 5.
Ooh.
Elements of my build are about to start coming online. I love it.
Woo! Just in time for whatever these shenanigans are. Okie dokie. But yeah, I'm now stalling while we wait for the tech to return.
Ooh.
So I hope
Well,
everybody
I'm
is.
glad.
Go on.
I'm glad Full Love, True Love won the day.
True love did win the day.
True love
And
and
whilst-
600 gold pieces.
And whilst it might not be, you know, the plot that the Rose of Kintargo is particularly interested in, I have unfortunately promised Emily the most important quest line of setting her and Gideon up on a happenstance date. I
that's
genuinely
very
don't know how to trick Gideon into doing anything, so that's going to be fun.
Mhm. Definitely will be a time that you have just volunteered yourself for.
So not to rush anyone, but I finished leveling up. So
What
it's
do you
almost
get?
like
What
it's
do you
not.
get
It's
this
not
level?
great.
I mean, it's so easy to level up a fighter though. You just add, point-based attacks and hit points and maybe a feat.
Yeah, it was this
Your fifth
level
normal
was-
fighter level.
this level was weapon training because I'm a fighter, 2 skill points, hit points, and a feat. That was it. Very simple.
Yeah, makes sense.
Easy.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to pick spells.
Definitely don't
Oh
pick
my
spells. You're right.
word.
Oh, how do I do
What is it,
this?
Ash?
I think
I think you might be
I think Ash is
despairing a little
looking
bit
at-
about my feet.
Ash is looking at a character sheet with 5 different classes and a complete mess of feats and going, what do I do with this?
It's fine. It's fine. You're level 5 to do this to yourself. At some point, and I think it might be now, you can't hide shit anymore.
Don't know what you're talking about. I'm completely fine.
It's not.
Oh, an
It's
extra
not
skill rank
happening.
in disguise, so it's fine.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
I'm very excited to see whether my theory is correct. Andrew
What
knows
is your
my
theory? I want to know your theory.
I'll send it to you in a private because I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want
Want
it
to
to be
influence the pool.
exactly
best part
right.
is, I 100% know your theory. I won't tell you if it's correct or not.
Yeah, I just if it's correct though, I want some bragging rights. That's the thing.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
I did find a way of making this build better with a much weirder thing that I could have done, but it was too much for this game.
Swear to God,
The
if it's
internet
Mystic
couldn't get
Theurge.
moved.
Okay.
No
Interesting.
worries.
There you go.
Interesting theory. Interesting theory. All right.
Interesting
Well, on the note of a theory that no one else knows, but we shall have to leave this time. We will hopefully be back in ready to pick up the mystery that the Rose of Kintargo has just. Thank you very much for joining us, for supporting us, and everything else. And do check out the other stuff that Assembled Adventurers are doing. While we're not here, and we'll see you next month.
See you next
Bye.
time.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.